How did you decide which villains to include for part 2?
Very good question. Electro fits very much into the kind of stories that relate to Spider-Man, to Peter Parker. In our story, he's isolated, he's the unseen man. Like many of us, you go to a workplace, no one will notice you. And he's a huge Spider-Man fan. And you'll see in the beginning of the movie, it's like he talks to him. That's his power, okay? And something happens, and now he is mad at Spider-Man and mad at the world, and especially after he became Electro. So Electro represents to us a classic profile of a great Spider-Man villain. And visually, in today's world, the expectations in a movie today, that you better be bigger than big, it has, I think this is like, are you afraid of the dark? Say hello to Electro. So it allows us to do the most amazing way of struggles and fighting. And one of the things that are always difficult to do in movies like that, superheroes, how is our conflict? You and I have a conflict. Why is it? How do you make it affect the whole population? And it's always, when you write the script, it's like, okay, I get that, but Spider-Man saves the city, and we need to be afraid of everything too. Mm-hmm. And when you have this kind of power, you can do things that you'll see in the movies that are pretty amazing and outrageous. Plus, you know, if you have an actor like him, a showman like him, it lifts everything. It gives us. So there's so many good villains, but Electro is uniquely visual. Jami was attracted to it. For us, we knew he had this. He loves Marvel, like Sam Jackson. He loves Marvel, and that was like this. Take care, man. Good to see you. It just brings you to a unique opportunity of battle of people who in some ways are the same. But once destiny gives them special power liabilities for that matter, like, I don't know, if I was a happy guy and I'm Electro, I'd become a cardiologist. And that's a difference. So we felt we were able to create a singular villain that his influence is so profound and so scary. Because once you can control power, the power of God.
It really is.
So that's what we have. When you see it today and when you just get a glimpse of it, you will know this is a challenge, because webs against electricity, I don't think so. What do you do against electricity? Not much. Mm-hmm. So, and the more we beat him up, the more he has to be inventive. And don't forget, Peter is a science whiz. Mm-hmm. Gwen is a science whiz. Mm-hmm. So you have this, it's fun for all of us to see the process of thinking. What does a smart girl like her and a smart guy like him do to deal with this?
Another thing that's very impressive, loved his work for years, is Chris Cooper. And why was he the right choice for you for Norman?
First, Chris Cooper will be the right choice for anything.
Yeah.
So, believe it or not, we wanted him to do Norman many, many years ago.
Oh, interesting.
And there were things in his life that precluded him from doing it. And when we went back to him saying, he's got terrorist, you know, he's like, he's got terrorist stuff. And he loved it. And he came in, and that's why you pick Chris Cooper. Because you're going to get something that is unique.
The end credit scene in the first movie, will it be explained at all in this movie?
The only way for me to answer it is, I cannot tell you.
Felicity Jones has said that she's a Goblin's girlfriend. Is she Cooper or Dane DeHaan's love interest, or can you even say?
I think at this point, at this movie, we are not addressing it yet. She meets some of the players because she works for Asco, and there's no. I think she likes Harry. I think she cares for him. I think Harry is interested in models. So I think whatever was in print out there really doesn't represent what you'll see in a movie, and not necessarily what you'll see sometime in the future.
What happened with Mary Jane, and is this something we might see in the future?
Mary Jane, as you know, we were crazy about this girl. We
Yeah.
fought very hard to get her. And it became a really interesting situation, too big a story, because this movie is about the relationship between him and Gwen. And we find ourselves not believing the Jami relationship with his new neighbor. And we said, you know what, it's too early. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I was like, kind of getting pissed at him, stop smiling at her. You have something else in your life. And it became too big. So it was jeeping her because you had to minimize. Because I think as a fan, if you see him struggling for love with someone, and he knows he genuinely loves her, so what, on the rebound you're going to start looking at someone else? And it doesn't matter if you don't, the perception is there. So I thought it was a courageous decision. The great thing is that she agreed with it.
Yeah.
She agreed that because it's like, it's a movie, it's a role, but it's a role. If you're a good actor, you feel it, and it was awkward.
Will there any chance she, not necessarily the actress, but the character, can we see her 3, 4 down the line maybe?
Maybe. We have to decide at what stage we want to introduce a new girl.
Will we see a Green Goblin in this movie, or perhaps in the future?
You'll definitely see in the future.
Will we see Dennis Leary or Martin Sheen in flashbacks at all? Or they serve their purpose?
We are still dealing with it. When the final edit is done, we'll see if we need it.
Okay.
But we like flashbacks, especially people that are really, really important to his existence, to his dilemma. And if there are moments in there that you feel like you could play it, so you have it in the can. And as you put the movie together, you look at it and you say, wow, that's effective. Oh wow, play the violin instead.